Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most mental practices I've recently learned, and it is going to be life-changing for you and me. This is something I should have known when I was younger, but of course I didn't know. As I'm continuing to learn and becoming a better man and increasing my knowledge and mental wisdom that I've gotten from so many people and just the blessing of online creation. This is life-changing, and if you can use this mindset every day as you keep going forward within your life, any goal that you want to achieve is possible. Anything that you want to do is anything that is possible, anything that is very high in your dreams that you want to achieve is possible. Do not even think that is impossible, because it is possible with this mindset. When you want to do a certain habit and you want to stay consistent at it, most likely it is something that is good for you. Most likely it is something that is good for your mental well-being. Most likely it is something that is actually life-changing for you. But there always seems to be a problem. When you start a certain habit, let's say you want to start going to the gym more often, you want to start eating cleaner, you want to step back from the bad foods, you want to step back from the alcohol and partying, you want to step back from the things that are actually harming your life. You take the first step, you actually stop doing those bad things, right? Stop doing those bad things, you start to drink less alcohol, you start to eat the good food, you actually start to invest your money into good things, into things that actually help you in your life, right? But the problem is, when you do these things, you feel like there's a friction in your mind while you're doing this stuff. When you stop eating the junk food and you actually start eating healthy, you do it for a couple of weeks, right? But there's something wrong, because in your mind, there's this certain friction that feels like this is not natural. It feels like it's not natural for you to eat healthy on a consistent basis. It feels unnatural for you to be running around the school. It feels unnatural for you to be going to the gym instead of hanging out with your friends at that certain time, right? The problem is, when we do these good habits, we actually want to change our lives. We still have the identity of the person that still does the bad habits. So when we're on the path to quitting alcohol, when we're on the path to exercising more, when we're on the path to eating cleaner, we still have the identity of the person we were in the past. We still have the identity in our mind that we're still that person that still has to do these bad things. That's why we have that friction of our mind and makes it so difficult. That's why we relapse on our behaviors. I struggled with this. I struggled with this a lot. When I was in high school, I used to eat a lot of junk food. I was not a person that took care of my health as seriously as I do now. My father always used to tell me this. He always used to encourage me to exercise more. Mark, go to the gym. Stop sitting around all day. Do something productive with your life. And you'd just always encourage me to do something useful, something productive every time. And whenever I would follow his instructions, it would feel like I'm going against what my identity was. Which at that time was a lazy ass motherfucker who didn't do anything. Who wasn't productive. Like every time I listened to the instructions I was given by my father to be productive, to do something useful, to exercise, to stop eating the shit food, I would do it. But it wouldn't feel like it's a natural thing for me. I would do it, but I wouldn't do it out of my own heart. That's because my identity was set. I had the identity of the person that doesn't do these things. What you have to change is up here. You have to change what's in your mind. Because once you change what's in your mind, the habits that you're doing, the good habits that are actually going to change your life, they don't feel as difficult. You don't have this friction in your mind that stops you from... You don't have this friction in your mind that stops you from moving, pursuing forward to actually move to that next level. Because every time I would try to go to the gym, I would go there for a few days, but then I would stop going for another 2 months. That's because I didn't have the identity of the athlete that goes to the gym and actually builds his body. Ever since I moved here to university, I have completely changed my mindset. I've changed who I am. Ever since I saw myself as an athlete, as a bodybuilder, someone who takes training seriously, actually put the identity in your mind. I completely destroyed the belief in my mind that I had as a person that will never achieve the body that I actually want to achieve. I am still making progress, but I've completely switched my identity. I've switched my identity to believe that someone that can actually be fit. When I was skinny, I wasn't fit at all. I couldn't run. I had no cardiovascular endurance. Ever since I changed my identity as someone that is fit. I changed my identity as a bodybuilder. I changed my identity to believe myself to be someone that can actually have a good cardiovascular endurance, a good fitness level. Every time I go on the Stairmaster now, I go for no less than 30 minutes. And trust me, bro, that Stairmaster is freaking painful. If you go to the gym, look for the Stairmaster cardio machine and tell me how long you can last. If you can last 20 minutes, that's good for you, bro. I used to struggle with this. I used to be someone that didn't even do cardio, bro. But ever since I changed my beliefs and my mindset, I'm someone that goes to the gym consistently and does my cardio. Because I believe myself to be that way. If you're struggling with something, some kind of addiction, alcohol, whether that's porn, a lot of men my age struggle with this, and that's the honest truth. If you see yourself as a person who masturbates and watches porn, you're not going to get away from that addiction, because if you try to stop, you're going to stop for like 3 to 7 days, right? But then you relapse. You relapse because you see yourself as someone who needs that porn and masturbation. Whatever source of dopamine you require, whatever that addiction is, you're addicted to junk food, porn, fucking social media, video games. When you keep doing these things and you try to stop, if you don't remove that identity of someone who needs these things, you will still continue to do whatever you're doing, because you do not remove the identity. The most important lesson for this video, and something that I've recently learned, and it is life-changing for me, and I'm going to continue to use it for the rest of my life, is the identity you have. The identity you have is what determines the success we're actually going to have. Because for me right now, I started making these videos because I now see myself as a YouTuber. So simple as that. I see myself as a YouTuber now. I'm going to upload consistently. This is my new entrepreneurship journey because I see myself as that. So if you see yourself to be the guy that's going to achieve that goal in the future, you're going to achieve it because you're putting that energy in the universe. As long as whatever you assume to be true, whatever you assume in your mind becomes true. That's the law of assumption. Whatever you assume to be true becomes your reality. So if you see yourself as that guy who is going to be a bodybuilder, you're going to be a bodybuilder. If you see as that guy who doesn't watch porn and masturbate anymore, you're not going to do it anymore. If you see as that guy who doesn't want to play games and waste his time anymore, that's exactly what's going to be your reality. Hope you understand what I'm saying. Whatever habits you're trying to be consistent in, you're trying to be consistent in it because your identity has changed. You've completely changed the way you see yourself. If you change the way you see yourself, everything else is going to move forward much smoothly. Because whatever good habit you want to do, whatever thing that you want to change in your life, whatever thing you want to stay consistent in, it will not work unless you change what's up here, unless you change your identity. You have to change your identity to continue to be consistent in whatever you want to do. And that's the honest truth. Whatever you assume to be true becomes your reality. Whatever you assume in your mind is what you put in the universe. And the universe will always give back to what you put it out there. You have to continue to improve yourself with the identity of someone that you know is going to be improved in the future. I know this YouTube channel is going to be successful, right? I know I'm a YouTuber now. I know that my entrepreneurship journey is going to be good. Because that's what I assume to be true, and it is going to be true. You have to change your identity for you to achieve what you want to achieve, and you have to stay consistent with the identity of someone that's going to achieve that. Keep working on yourself, bro.